Look, I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not your therapist, and I'm damn sure not going to sugarcoat this. You clicked on this video because somewhere, deep down, you know you're underperforming. And you want me to give you some magic formula, right? Some three-step bullshit that'll turn you into a genius overnight? Well, here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. You're not bad at learning. You're just lazy as hell about it. Yeah, I said it. And before you click away, just hear me out for the next few minutes. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to piss you off. But it might also be exactly what you need to hear. You know what the real problem is? You're still learning like a child. Like some 14-year-old cramming for a history test they don't give a shit about. Except now you're an adult, and the stakes are real. That language you've been trying to learn for 3 years still can't order coffee without sounding like an idiot. That side business you keep talking about, still just talk. That skill that would actually change your life, you watch 12 YouTube videos about it and then nothing. And deep down, you tell yourself these little lies. I'm just not good at languages. I don't have the talent. I'm too old to learn this stuff. But that's bullshit. Pure, unfiltered bullshit. You're not incapable, you're just doing it wrong. Here's what actually happens when you try to learn something. You get all excited, right? You buy the course, download the app, bookmark the tutorials. You're pumped. This is it. This is your time. And then, day 3 happens. Day 3, when the dopamine wears off and you realize this is actually going to require effort. Real, uncomfortable, frustrating effort. So you make excuses. I'm too busy. I'll start properly next week. Maybe this just isn't for me. And you know what the most pathetic part is? You've been having that same conversation with yourself for years. Different skill, same excuses. Different goal, same procrastination. You're trapped in this endless loop of starting and quitting, and you wonder why nothing ever sticks. All right, enough of the beating you up. Let's talk about what you're actually doing wrong. Because once you understand this, everything changes. You think learning is about input. It's not. You read the books, watch the videos, listen to the podcasts. You're consuming information like it's Netflix. But consuming isn't learning. It's just entertainment with an educational mask on. Real learning? Real learning is about output. It's about doing the thing badly, then doing it badly again, then doing it slightly less badly, over and over until your brain finally figures out what the hell is going on. You can't learn to swim by reading about swimming. You can't learn to code by watching someone else code. You have to get in the water and nearly drown a few times. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. That discomfort? That's your brain physically changing, creating new connections, building new pathways. That's growth. And you've been avoiding it because it doesn't feel good. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's this thing called the Pareto Principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. Sounds like bullshit productivity advice, right? But think about it. If you want to learn Spanish, you don't need to memorize 10,000 words. The 1,000 most common words, they cover 80% of everyday conversations. 1,000 words, that's it. But what do people do? They buy the massive textbook. They download the app with 50,000 vocabulary cards. They overwhelm themselves with everything and then learn nothing. Because they're too busy drowning in the 80% that doesn't matter to focus on the 20% that does. You want to learn guitar? Stop trying to play like Hendrix on day 1. Master 5 basic chords, just 5. But master them so well you can play them in your sleep. Everything else builds from there. And here's another thing you're doing wrong. You're cramming. You're treating your brain like a hard drive, like you can just dump 6 hours of information in there and it'll stick. Your brain doesn't work like that. Your brain needs space. It needs time to process, to consolidate, to move stuff from short-term memory into long-term storage. That's why cramming feels productive but achieves nothing. You're just pushing water uphill. The spacing effect. Spreading your learning over time. 30 minutes today, 30 minutes tomorrow, 30 minutes the day after. That's how information actually gets locked in. That's how you go from, I think I understand this, to, I know this in my bones. But that requires patience, consistency, showing up even when you don't feel like it. And that's hard. Because we live in a world of instant gratification, where everything is supposed to happen now. Look, I get it. Learning is frustrating. It's scary to be bad at something. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone, doing what you already know, pretending you're satisfied with where you are. But you're not satisfied. If you were, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be watching videos about learning, reading books about productivity, searching for that one technique that'll finally make everything click. So here's what you need to accept. You're going to suck at first. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to want to quit. And that's when the real work begins. Not when it's fun and exciting, but when it's hard and frustrating and you'd rather be doing anything else. That's when you find out what you're actually made of. That's when you separate the people who talk about changing their lives from the people who actually do it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to close this video, feel motivated for about 12 seconds, and then go right back to scrolling? Or are you going to actually do something about it? Pick one thing. Just one. Not 5 goals, not a complete life transformation. One skill you actually want to learn. And then commit to 30 minutes a day. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's convenient. Every day. Because here's the secret nobody wants to tell you. There is no secret. No hack, no shortcut, no magic formula. Just consistent, deliberate practice. Just showing up when it sucks. Just pushing through the part where you're terrible until you're slightly less terrible. And one day, you'll realize you're not terrible anymore. You'll realize you actually learned something. And that's when everything changes. Now stop watching videos about learning and go learn something. For real this time.